And 1,000 welcomes to all the viewers out there from Broken to Worlds. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry for the angled shot here. It's a little tilted. I tried straightening it and then you gotta zoom in, but it was a little too close of a zoom in, so I thought leave it like this, but I'll try to make sure to make it straight for all you OCD people out there for next time. So this is from Broken Worlds, as I said, where I try to train my injured body and try to train to qualify for the 2027 World Masters Highland Games Championship. Let's see how I can do this. I'm still doing what I called, if you watched last time, my on-ramping. And so this is lightweight. Yeah, baby. But yeah, doing some actual lightweight, not just saying it's lightweight. And going pretty good. So compound movements. I've been doing a bit of a series before I got sick. I had started. This was the last one I had planned to do. So the first one was compound movements for strength. Best way to build strength is through compound movements. And the second one was compound movements for power or athletic ability. Since athletic ability requires multiple muscles and joints moving to perform, it's good to train under load with multiple joints and muscles moving at the same time. So it's good for athletic training. Last thing I'll say is for mobility. And I'm not talking mobility as in necessarily flexibility, but as in your joints being able to move in normal movement patterns. So you saw the deadlift, picking things up off the floor is a very common normal movement pattern. And to be able to do that with some load under it means that if I have to pick up a box that's typically lighter than what I can do with a barbell, it will not be as difficult for me. Here, shoulder press, putting something up on a top shelf, or if you're in an airplane, putting your stowaway luggage up top, things like that, right? So this is a normal movement pattern. So when I talk about mobility, that's kind of what I'm more referring to than, say, being a Gumby that can stretch and all that kind of stuff. So going through compound movements is by nature movement patterns that are done in general life. Now, when I say that, it's a little artificial because I don't actually, you can see my my wrap fell off there. My crappy wrap. I need to replace that. Get off my duff and replace that. But they're by nature natural movement patterns. Now, they're a bit artificial in that they're done very ergonomically. That's just so you can lift more weights. Like when you lift up a box, for example, that's not as ergonomic of a lift as doing a deadlift with a barbell, for example. So it's not identical to normal movement patterns, but you're working within that range of how you move around day by day. So it's a really good thing if you're interested in mobility, especially as you get older, to not forget to do your compound movements. Make sure to not neglect them. They're pretty important. So yeah, that's compound movements for mobility. Now, speaking of compound movements, here's an isolation movement I did. A standing kind of, I don't know what it's called, standing forward bicep curl. Kind of lean back. As you can see, I'm using my Bells of Steel fat bar, which I like to use for arm curls a lot because it seems to work out the full arm instead of just focusing on the bicep, because you have to grip it pretty good. But I'm not against isolation movements. As you can see, I'm doing them. But do not neglect your compound movements. They are excellent for your whole life. So that will be the last of kind of my compound movement series, I guess you can call it. And I'll focus on some other things in future episodes. Here I'm working on my tibs. This is a kind of an interesting setup. I don't know if anybody who does this. I didn't get it from anybody, but I'm sure I'm not the first one to do it. But you just put a band. I've got some band pegs set up there, and then you sit and put the bands around your upper feet, your toes, and just do that. All right, well, that's the end of my workout. I didn't show everything, but I showed most of it. You got a good idea. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a strong day. All right, see ya.